There are moments in life when you look around and realize there's no one left walking beside you. People who once claimed to support you now look at you with heavy eyes, eyes filled with doubt, almost begging you to give up. It's a sharp feeling, a kind of loneliness no language fully describes. It hurts because it comes from the people you trusted the most. It hurts because, deep down, you hoped at least one of them still believed in you. And when those voices start telling you, why don't you try something else? Why keep insisting on this? This isn't for you. It's as if a part of you breaks slowly, silently. But this is where many fall and few continue. Because moving forward when no one supports you requires something you don't learn in books and can't buy. It requires conviction. At the beginning of every dream, almost everyone looks crazy. That's just how it is. You talk about your plans with empty pockets, with debt, with struggles, with sleepless nights, and people laugh. They doubt, they judge, they question your sanity. And on many days, you will question whether you're dreaming too big, whether you've gone too far. But there's something no one can take from you. The inner certainty that something inside you is waiting to be unleashed. You can fail, lose money, lose opportunities, be betrayed, be criticized, be misunderstood. You might even lose everything you once built, but you don't lose that spark, that silent force that reminds you that you were born for something greater than the moment you're living right now. Yes, some people will mock you. Yes, people you love may walk away. Yes, you may be misunderstood even when you explain yourself 1,000 times. But ask yourself this: is it nobler to abandon who you are to fit into someone else's world, or to be loyal to the path your soul is begging you to follow? The choice is always between two roads: fear or freedom, the cage or courage. While victims hand their power to the external world, to the past, to appearance, to others' opinions, to their wounds, winners take ownership of their story. They say, I decide what I do with my life. I decide how I respond to what I face. I decide who I become. They don't justify defeat with, it's my family's fault. It's because of my trauma. It's because of my divorce. It's because of my health. It's because of what others say. No. They say, this is my journey. No one will live it for me. And once you understand that, you realize the only solid barrier standing between you and what you were born to do is you. So whenever the thought, I can't do this, appears, fight it with a clear vision that you can. For every minute you spend in doubt, spend 2 believing in your potential. Every time you feel sorry for yourself, compensate with determination. Rebalance your mind in favor of who you want to be, not who fear says you are. Because when you choose to pursue mastery, you automatically step away from the crowd. When you choose excellence, deep study, extreme dedication, daily discipline, you become strange to many, different, too intense. And that's why visionaries have always been ridiculed before being revered. When you say you want to create something great, build something innovative, leave your mark on the world, prepare yourself. They will laugh. They will call you dramatic. They will say you think too highly of yourself. They will judge your habits, your routines, your methods, your obsession. Why do you read so much? Why so much detail? Why so much effort? Why aren't you satisfied with what you have? Why work so hard on something no one recognizes? And before you know it, you'll be alone. Not because you did something wrong, but because you're walking towards a place very few people have the courage to go. But build an inner strength so solid that mockery doesn't break you, that criticism doesn't paralyze you, that doubt doesn't silence you. Because the moment always comes when you need to remember why you started. You will need a reason strong enough to lift you even when the world tries to knock you down. Maybe that reason is your family. Maybe it's your past. Maybe it's the deep desire to prove to yourself that you're not the failure someone once said you would be. Whatever your reason is, hold on to it. You are capable of reinventing yourself, capable of rising, capable of being reborn. And even when they doubt you, remember, the best kind of revenge is massive success. Work until you prove they were wrong. Months, years, however long it takes, it doesn't matter. Because you know that one day, it will happen. You must decide that your life is important enough to be lived intensely, that your purpose deserves every drop of energy you carry, that your dreams are worthy of your effort, no matter how long they take, how many doors close, or how many people doubt you. And when that decision is born inside you, something changes. You begin to work with a different hunger, a deep inner fire almost no one understands. You stop settling for the shallow. You start pursuing excellence, depth, technique, understanding. You refuse to live a life too small for the size of your soul. And in that process, you transform. Because there's a type of strength that only appears when you do more than what's expected, when you give more than you should, when you go further than anyone imagined. And that strength is what takes you to the next level. It's what puts you in a rare mental state, a state few are able to sustain. But it takes courage. Courage to endure the loneliness of the path. Courage to endure the weight of doubt. Courage to deal with those who try to dim your light because they don't understand the brilliance you're building. While many live trapped by others' opinions, winners choose to live by their own vision. And yes, there is a price to pay. You will be called arrogant. They will say you think too big, that you dream too much, that you should be more realistic. But those who live in mediocrity can't comprehend those who live for greatness. When you begin to take your path seriously, someone will ask, "Why do you spend so many hours on this? Why do you care so much? Why do you have to be so intense?"
Subscribe to the channel because together we will achieve what is always possible with determination.
And when you answer that you're striving to become extraordinary, many won't understand. Because for them, good enough is enough, but not for you. And that's when you enter the phase where people stop understanding you, a phase of healthy obsession, a stage of absolute focus, a state where you commit so deeply that nothing pulls you off your axis. And when this moment comes, you must learn to continue, even while they laugh, even while they try to stop you. Your skin must become strong enough for criticism to slide off, and your soul must be firm enough so that praise doesn't distract you. Because you're not here to please, you're here to fulfill a purpose. And when you fall, and you will, because everyone falls, you will need to find a reason to get up again, a reason that pulls you back into the fight even when fatigue screams that you've had enough. Maybe you'll do it to honor your mother, maybe for your children, maybe because someone once told you that you'd never be anything, maybe because life hurt you so deeply that now you want to show the world what you're made of. Whatever your reason, keep it close. It will be your anchor on hard days and your fuel on glorious ones. You must remember and never forget that working hard is a way of living deeply. The more you dedicate yourself, the more alive you become. The more you give, the more everything gains meaning. But none of it matters if you don't believe you deserve to win, if you don't believe you have value, if you don't believe you were born to contribute something bigger than your pain. You need to tell yourself, I have something to offer the world. Because you do. That's why every now and then, you'll need to rise within yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, I choose to continue. I choose to grow. I choose to fight. And fight for your dreams, your mental health, your peace, your goals. No one can do that for you. Life belongs to those who get up to live it, not those who wait for permission. But for that, you need to change the way you think. The great revolution starts in the mind, not the outside world. Change your thinking, and you change your story. Change your mindset, and you change your destiny. Change your beliefs, and you change your possibilities. Ask yourself, what kind of life would you build if you stopped letting fear dictate your decisions? Who would you become if you faced your doubts instead of running from them? How much strength would you discover if you allowed discomfort to train you instead of destroy you? The truth is, most people never discover how strong they truly are because they run at the first sign of difficulty. And they don't realize that strength appears exactly when you choose not to run, when you go through it, when you face the pain, when you face the fear, when you face the insecurity, when you face whatever life throws at you. And once you cross through it, you become more than someone who reached a goal. You become someone who found themselves. There comes a moment when everything becomes too quiet. The judgments fade. The voices that once pushed you down begin to disappear. But don't be fooled. It's not because the world finally understands you. It's because you've become too big to fit inside the limits they placed on you. It's in this silence, strange, uncomfortable, almost frightening, that real transformation starts to ignite. You realize you're no longer trying to prove anything to anyone. You're no longer seeking approval. Now the only thing that matters is the promise you made to yourself. And that promise, it burns. This is where you rise when no one is watching. This is where you work while others doubt. This is where you plant the version of yourself that will soon make everyone swallow every word of disbelief. Because the truth is simple. You don't need to convince anyone. You just need to keep going. And when the day comes, because it will come, when you show up fully transformed, fully focused, fully owning your story, they will think it happened out of nowhere. They'll say it was luck. They'll try to invent explanations for something you built in the dark. But you will know. You will know the price. You will know the path. You will know the silent battle you fought and won. And when that moment finally explodes before you, when your breakthrough is so massive that no one can deny it, you won't shout. You won't point fingers. You won't throw anything in anyone's face. You'll simply smile. A short, quiet smile, but loaded with an unbreakable truth. I made it, despite all of you. And that will be the loudest sound of your victory. There is a point in every warrior's journey where the world stops ignoring you. Not because they finally believe in you, not because they suddenly understand your path, but because your evolution becomes too loud to be silenced, too bright to be dimmed, too powerful to be denied. This is the moment when your results start speaking a language no critic can argue with. The moment your discipline becomes visible. The moment your consistency becomes impossible to question. The moment your transformation becomes a fact, not a debate. People will look at you differently, some with admiration, some with envy, some with regret, the regret of having underestimated you. But you won't be looking back. You'll be too focused on everything you're becoming. Because now, it's no longer about proving anyone wrong. That phase is over. What comes next is bigger. Much bigger. Now, you prove yourself right every night you didn't give up. Every tear you didn't show.
Subscribe to the channel because together we will achieve what is always possible with determination.
Every fear you confronted alone. Every dream you protected in silence. This is the moment the universe pays attention. This is the moment life steps aside and lets you through. This is the moment your name begins to echo in places where it was never even spoken before. You rise,
not as the person they doubted, but as the person you always knew you could become. And when you finally stand on that peak, breath heavy, heart steady, mind sharp, you'll understand one thing with absolute certainty. You weren't fighting them. You were forging you. Your new life begins right there. Not in the applause, not in the validation, but in the quiet realization that you did what most people never do. You walked through the darkness, and you didn't lose yourself. You found yourself. This is your era, your breakthrough, your ascension. And nobody, absolutely nobody, can stop what you've built in the shadows. And now, after everything you faced, after every doubt, every setback, every moment where quitting looked easier than breathing, you're still here, stronger, wiser, sharper, more alive than ever. Because there is something inside of you that no darkness could destroy. A spark, a quiet fire, a truth that refused to die, even when you didn't know how to keep going. Listen carefully now. That spark, it's glowing brighter. It's becoming a flame becoming a fire becoming a force the world can no longer ignore. This is the moment you understand nothing was wasted. Not the pain, not the silence, not the lonely nights, not the battles nobody saw. Every tear shaped you. Every failure carved you. Every fall taught you to rise with more precision, more hunger, more conviction. You were not being buried. You were being planted. And now, you rise. Not slowly, not softly, but like a storm breaking open the sky. This is your rebirth, your return, your awakening. From this moment forward, you walk with a different posture. Not because life got easier, but because you got unbreakable. You carry a new energy, a new certainty, a new light that doesn't just guide you, it inspires everyone who crosses your path. Because your story, yes, your story is proof that even in the deepest darkness, something extraordinary is being built. You are living evidence that hope is real, that strength is real, that transformation is real. And now, you're not just surviving, you're becoming. Becoming everything they said you couldn't be. Becoming everything your past tried to stop. Becoming everything your soul always knew you were meant to be. So breathe, lift your head, step forward. Your life is no longer defined by who you were. It is defined by who you are becoming. And you are becoming unstoppable. This is your time. This is your rise. This is your light. Go and never dim it again.
Subscribe to the channel because we'll have new videos every day until you reach your goal. You are capable.